We are now checking in, man. Easily Offended Podcast, man. We are definitely here in the building. Episode 75. 75 to stay alive, man. We in the building today. We got some special guests in the building today. Make sure y'all go ahead and at the end of the show, follow, subscribe, you know, all the good things. We got Ashley in the building.
Hey.
And we got Diego in the building.
Hey, what's up?
You know what I'm saying? They from a cannabis company. I'm going to let them introduce the cannabis company. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get the message or the wording wrong. You know what I'm saying? It might be a certain slogan they might have to say. You know what I'm saying? What cannabis company you with?
You want to go?
Yeah, we're with Nu Era Cannabis, and I work at the Chicago location. And Diego, he pretty much travels around and does all the brand ambassador stuff.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, we was talking about it earlier, like how certain strands are...
Might want to slide that ashtray down.
Oh, yeah. Slide that. There you go. But we were just basically talking about, like, you know, different strands and our favorite partakes. We definitely want to have a great conversation. I definitely want to know what's your favorite get high movies and snacks and all the other good shit. You know what I'm saying? But introduce yourselves, like, on how did y'all get into the brand? You know what I'm saying? And all that, you know? Or what, I mean...
No. Yeah, go ahead. Just basically, you know, what brought you here? Outside, obviously, you love to smoke weed, right? How did you actually get into transition from just being a lover of cannabis as to actually working in the industry?
Yeah, well, the opportunity was there, and the reason I chose it was because I'm someone who's been on a lot of medications my whole life, and I'm a very big believer in alternative medicine.
Nice.
And not because I don't think that cannabis can cure diseases right now. There's not a lot of, you know, research about that. Right. I view it as an excellent coping mechanism. That's why, because I got off medication and I needed something to kind of replace it. Mm-hmm. You know,
okay.
And the way I see it is there are different coping mechanisms that are toxic for you, like there's alcohol, there's food, there's other harder drugs. There's
Absolutely.
Yeah,
all sorts of
this
stuff.
Is like the most healthiest way.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And like I said, though, if you overuse it, it's, you know, negative. There's negative aspects to it, but if you use it accordingly, it can be extremely helpful for you. Yeah, it can be extremely helpful for you, and you can't overdose on it. You can't. It's not gonna make you violent. I don't think. You know.
Now you've never heard somebody say, "Man, I was so high I had to fight motherfuckers last night." Like, no, it was more so like I was so high I ate a whole pizza. Or I was so high like I just passed out. I missed your phone call. You know what I'm saying?
Or the conversation always starts off like nickel.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So like, now weed is definitely like now you could be somewhere with people that had too much to drink.
Yeah.
And then, you know, next thing you know, you got to get bail money together. You know, very rarely do you have things like that happen as a result
the
of
car for the tow stations.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. How about you, Ash?
Pretty much like the same. Like, the opportunity was there. I've always smoked, well, and I'm not saying always, but I've smoked weed for a really long time. And I've always been into sales, too.
Okay.
So when I was buying weed from people off the street, and they would try to tell me it was something different, but I knew it was the exact same thing that they sold me the week before, 2-3 weeks before. Right.
You know, they go on Amazon, they get those packages now.
Yeah.
Right. They just put them all it's all the same weed, but just in different fucking packages.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Exactly. So, just learning more about it and the care aspect of actually being able to help people find what works for them. I'm happy I got to actually start at a medical dispensary versus a recreational one, just because the training and the knowledge is just so different, and you meet so many different kinds of people who deal with just different kinds of ailments, whether it be like something really minor or somebody pretty much stage 4 cancer and everything. So trying to find something that works for them, you know, not just always thinking of it as like a fun recreational thing, but actually honing in on like the medicinal purpose of it. Like it just, that's what keeps me in the industry, and that's what keeps me driving like forward and everything too. And plus I really do like when all the people who buy off the street come in and like they use their street lingo and I have to figure out what they're talking about. I'm like, oh, okay, I got you.
Like somebody come in and ask for a KD?
Yeah. I have this guy. He comes in like faithfully. I've been working with him for like 2 years, and he always comes in and he's like, "Can I get a tray 5, a loud Kush?" And I'm like, "Okay, like let's sit down and figure it out." So.
Like,
Like somebody can come in and ask for a zip and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's,
right.
It's kind of wild.
And then also it's just off just them knowing different. That's the first time she went crazy. Damn, I just totally lost my train of thought right there.
See, that's what happens when you leave the cats out, man. They distract you.
No, it's a bag. She just in a bag. But no, when street dudes come to like a dispensary, you know what I'm saying? They always want the strongest pack. And then you be like, well, this does this. And they be like, but what is it? I just told you what it is. So is it Za? No. Kush? No. It has a real name. It's like...
I mean, like, I can find something in the Kush family for you.
Right.
Or exactly what kind of effects, what kind of high are you looking for? And that's the thing, too. But what I've realized, like, a lot of the time, is when people are coming looking for, like, loud or Kush, they really like indicas or indica-leaning hybrids.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, they may like a sativa, but it's usually an indica, though.
Yeah.
That's definitely where I lean towards. I'm a for real indica. Like, I used to like sativas, but I've just found more like thank you, sir. At least the indicas and strains I like to smoke. Like what I smoke most often, I get 5 packs of Gelato 41. Yeah, and it just real. I like a real mellow. I just want to chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be overstimulated. I like a nice aromatic, something like nice smell, nice little taste. But really just want to like chill out. But I just know I've seen the shit grow from like, because we was buying weed in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Well, like you would get a nick, shit would still have seeds.
Shout out Kev, man. Right. Shout out motherfucking Kev.
Right, Kev was my first weed man.
Cut my hair egg.
Like, I mean, he was a hood first, like because everybody pretty much in the beginning was buying weed from Kev.
Yeah.
But this shit, like you say, would still have seeds, and like everybody was getting the weed from like Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember when people first started getting like hydroponics, you know what I'm saying? But everybody just called it dro. Mm-hmm. And then like it wasn't until I got to college, and it's like, this is what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing in college, right? I probably learned more about weed than anything else. But like, so once I got to college, and then like, actually precursor to college, right? The night of my prom. So
sounds like a great story, bro.
I'm sorry. This is the night after my prom.
This one night at prom night.
Right. I was supposed to go to Great America, and I was fucking around with this girl, and she like just spazzed out on me, just ruined my whole day. I ain't go to Great America or nothing. So we went to this. We ended up later on this night. We ended up going to this party at Chicago State. Let you know how long ago that was. Motherfuckers having parties in Chicago State. But yeah. So we went to this party in Chicago State. And one of my guys had this, we was talking about it earlier, had some Maui Wowie, right?
I was with you that night, I think.
Yeah, you probably was.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of those things where like, now I had smoked weed plenty of times before this, but this was like a core memory of mine because I was so fucking high, but it wasn't like oh, I can't do nothing. It was like, man, I could go build a fucking rocket ship right now if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Marathon.
Right. All the things. And I was like, I just remember just being so high for like the whole night, but riding this like wave of just feel good. Like, you know, like just, I was like rainbows and sunshine everywhere I went.
And it's always go ahead. Keep going.
But that was the first time like somebody actually introduced weed as a name. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, no, this is Maui Wowie. I'm like, oh shit. And then you got like, okay, there's White Widow, there's Northern Lights, you know, and this is all yeah. So like to see that and to now is like way more common. Like there are like, I don't even know how many fucking, you know, strains of weed there are, like, right?
Shit ton.
And now to the point where we have like a cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Right. So going on that same line of questioning, dispensaries first versus the black market, right? So before you could only get it from people on the street, and now you have basically weed grocery stores. Do you see like another evolution of that? Do you ever see like the black market dying? Do you think there's always going to be a black market? Or like, do you ever think that the cannabis industry could completely replace it one day?
Yeah, I think it definitely can replace it one day. It's just the issues are the taxes, incentive. Why would you buy from a dispensary when you can get it on the black market? You can argue quality, but look at Michigan. It's cheaper, way cheaper over there, and you bet people are buying in bulk and bringing it over.
Yeah,
and selling it. You can
absolutely.
buy 30 carts for $250. Not even like even cheaper, but like you bring it over, you sell them 25 each. But if I can do the math, but it's like you make a good profit.
Yeah. A lot of people do that. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Me personally, like I'm more of a edible person. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to smoke a lot. He would tell you we used to smoke every day, and it was like, as you get older as well too, like the amount of you smoke gets less in some cases. Like with me, I can have like a 5-pack of pre-rolls. That shit would last me about a month because I got edibles too. You know what I'm saying? I only smoke like if occasions like this, or like we're going out watching a game, something like that, or partying. Other than that, I'm just, on my rough day, just pop edible, you know what I mean? And get it out. But it's so many dispensaries. You was just in Montana,
I was just
right?
in Montana. And it's interesting to see like the differences in states.
Oh, wait. Happy birthday, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, brother.
Birthday.
I haven't seen him since his
Right.
birthday.
Yeah, since my birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, no. So it's really interesting. So who was it first? So Colorado and Washington were the first for recreational, right? Yeah. So, and I think we got it in 2020, and then Montana just did it. I think they said it was like 2-3 years ago. And like, so you saw the growth in Illinois, like it was kind of slow motion in terms of dispensaries. Like you see them kind of like pretty all over the place now. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that. In Montana, this shit's is everywhere.
It's like a McDonald's.
Yeah. I'm in a small town. I'm in Bozeman, right? Bozeman is not a big city whatsoever. But it was crazy. Like I was driving to Yellowstone, and I need to stop and get gas. And there was like one gas station along this road, right? And that gas station had a fucking dispensary attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's like a perfect way to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you go to Yellowstone, nice. You know what I mean?
I already had it. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna be out there without. I can't smoke a joint in Yellowstone. You know what I'm saying? Like, got to. But no, it's just interesting to see like how. But out there, it's a little bit different, I would suppose, in terms of like black market versus like, in Chicago, you have a city like Chicago, you have so many people that you can buy weed from, so many people that are selling it, and now it's like it seems like the dispensaries are catching up because I can use myself as an example. Like I would buy weed from people all the time, right? Like, but now it's like I don't want to call nobody. I don't want to wait to see, hey, man, where you at? Yeah. What time? Can I meet you here? Can I do all this other shit? You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I don't mind paying for convenience. Now, it's definitely more expensive. Like, and the taxes are insane. But, like, you are going to get a lot of people, such as myself, based on convenience, right? So I could see that somehow ultimately becoming, like, a thing because the prices are going to go down, right?
Yeah, so convenience, one thing. You can access it whenever you want. There's security cameras, security guard, safer. You don't have to venture into, you don't have to trust someone, or meet up a stranger.
Right.
Also, it's just Illinois, they have very stricter compliance when it comes to the quality.
Yes.
So if it's a certain microbial content or fungal or mold, they have to destroy it. They can't use it. They can't sell it. I don't think and I don't have any references with me today, but I don't think that's the case for a lot of states that legalize it.
So when you say fungal, is that like, say like you can only grow 10 pounds, but if it's like 10.5, that 0.5 got to... Sorry about that. See, that's the high shit right there.
Right. Hit the wrong button.
Right. But
now, I think you were referring like actually like any sort of mold or fungus being in the plant itself.
Oh, okay. That's why,
So-
yeah, because I was just like, damn, that's crazy.
Wait, so okay, so all places don't have those type of standards.
No. You can even go to Michigan and notice the difference between the quality of flour, pre-rolls and everything like that if you just look at it. Like I had somebody bring me back some pre-rolls from there. They didn't have any seals. You could just pop them open. Like it was really weird. Like even I was looking at because I'm in the industry, a lot of people like to show me what they have a lot of the time and like
Right.
let me try their flour. And I don't like to come off like a weed snob, but if you're bragging
You're
to me
definitely a weed
about,
snob.
you know, I am, but like if you're bragging to me about buying like an ounce for $100 or something like that, like I'm expecting it to be something with terps. I'm expecting it to actually break down like really well, like, and then you've really just got some mid for, you know, a big
Right.
quantity of mid like for 100. So like I definitely to even go back to your question earlier about the black market, like I understand like people have like their loyalty to their local weed man. They want to
Right.
keep that industry going and everything like that. So even I would say if you are in the black market, I would try to adapt to what's around you and start learning more about what you're selling. That way when things kind of change, you can kind of move into it a little bit easier versus like you just constantly are telling people you have runs, but you've had it looks
Right.
different every time you bring it to me. So yeah.
So, how easy? Well, I shouldn't say how easy is it, because I know it's opening any sort of business, operating a business is never easy. But so when Illinois first legalized marijuana, there was a whole social equity piece that's supposed to be tied to it it was supposed to make it easier for minorities to own dispensaries. But if the years going on, you've seen that hasn't necessarily benefited those in the way they think it should, or they thought it would, I should say. So how is that road, right? Like for someone, because from my understanding is you have to have a shit ton of capital, right, to start that. Right, so are there spaces, or do you think there'll be spaces in the future for more like small kind of boutique operations, or do you think like, or because it seems like companies like large companies are able to kind of access or like have their product in a way that like nobody else can really compete. Like so, but I guess in any business model you could have like a Walmart of weed and a Target of weed, but you know
That would be insane.
right. I mean, but eventually you think it gets there, right? But like
A
you think
weed
there's-
grocery store. Sorry.
But like in terms of like just having those smaller, like, will the little guy have a place in that? Do you think?
Little guy, not anytime soon. No,
Okay.
I mean right now it's pretty cute.
Straight. No, don't even think about it. nigga.
I mean, I just say that out of ignorance because I don't know what it's gonna look like in a few years. I just know now it's everything's super compliance heavy. I mean, everything's sealed.
Right.
You can't smell it, can't see it. State wants to get every cent of tax that they're owed.
Right.
Because I mean, they did legalize it. They did what the people want.
Right.
And to them, Chicago is such a heavy population density. You got to take advantage of that. I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
The consumer,
yeah.
it sucks big time. I don't like it either. Very expensive, but that's how it is. So it's not going to be like boutique style. You know, like you can't just set up like a little like storefront and just sell bud and you can get it from whatever. It's difficult. And I don't
Yeah.
want to I don't want to name any companies, and I'm not going to.
Right.
But it feels like pay to play a
Yeah.
little bit. And
Yeah.
honest, that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to.
I can see that. You know what I'm saying? I've known people in the industry that
Because you really only see like in terms of the dispensaries that operate in Chicago, you see like brands, right? Like I go to a Zen Leaf, right? You see a lot of those. What is it one called? Is it Sunnyside?
Sunny
Yeah,
side.
yeah. Because I used to go to one on Clark Street, but they were like ridiculously expensive. But yeah, you see a bunch of those. You see, like you see like brands. You don't see too many like one-offs, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's more like a chain. Like,
Right. So it kind of makes you wonder. So when you speak on like in the future, the black market people transitioning into something that's a little more sustainable and
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, legal. Like, but is that even possible, right? For most of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you have like storefronts where you can set up. You know, you have to have a certain number of employees. You have
Okay.
to have a location. You have to have
Good.
like zoning. Like everyone has to be. You okay? All right.
Yeah.
Everyone, I care. Everyone, and your neighborhood surrounding the dispensary has to be okay with you being there,
Right.
and you have to have all of that set up before you can start buying and selling.
Okay.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of money up front.
You got to pay rent. You got to pay your employees, and they're not even working, or so they say. This is what people have told me. Again, I don't know for sure. I need to look up references. I don't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so your time goes by. It's more difficult to sustain that, and so you'd rather sell it, the license, and I think that's what the issue really is.
That's-
And like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but also like whenever I tend to find like when people are asking me questions about how to get into the industry, how to do this, how to do that, like one of my biggest questions to them is like why do you want to do that? Like, because again, like Diego was saying, trying to open a dispensary and all that it takes a lot of work and dedication, and it may not go well. It may not go through the first 5, 6, 7 times. You may have to partner with somebody. I know I've seen people go the like the cultivation route, the infusion route, and then it's like, okay, if you actually want to be a grower, you actually want to create your own products, your own ideas, do your own thing, then I'd say like kind of putting your name out there, like that is a good way to do it. But even then again, if you don't have the time to actually care about what you're putting into it, or like hiring a master grower or hiring a master infuser or anything like that, then it's like, where do you want to do with it in like the next 5-10 years? Like, and a lot of time, like even starting out, like people don't really have too many answers when it comes to that. Like they just like, oh, I just want to have a dispensary just to kind of have money coming in. I'm like, okay, well, there's a lot that goes into that. You may not make that much money, and you may
Right.
put a lot more money in marketing in the first year and see the ROI, and it may not be that great. Then you got to kind of like come back and regroup and restructure and everything. And it's like, okay, like as long as you're okay with going through the obstacles of that, like just know it may take you a while, but again, is it really going to be worth it? And are you willing to like really put the blood, sweat, and tears that it is to do that? Even like with the boutique things, because they're cracking down on a lot of those CBD stores.
Yeah.
So like even with that, because people weren't being able to get their cannabis license, but again, the CBD industry and hemp industry and everything, it's not really regulated like that. So again, it's like I would say even then, if you have a situation like that, trying to figure out the next move for how you can adapt, because in the next like 2 or 3 years, you may not be able to have that location anymore just because of regulation and what you're selling and everything. So, I mean, it's an ever-changing industry. It moves really, really fast because it does go off of Mother Nature pretty much, and then man does its own thing to kind of manufacture its own thing around it. But if you can figure out where you can get into it and kind of, plant your feet down and kind of grow into it, like, that would probably be my best advice for anybody trying to do anything anywhere in the industry.
I mean, I've heard the stories. I think when I first started like researching, because at first I wanted to work in the cannabis industry. I was like, man, I'm gonna just go ahead, get a job in the cannabis industry. So I was just doing like a lot of research and like studying through like watching other podcasts and interviewers. Like Al Harrington, he was like one of the ones that caught me a lot, because he's actually partnered with a guy here in Chicago that's from Hyde Park. You know what I'm saying? And that guy had already had himself established in the West Coast already on a smaller scale. So when they got together, they created the Viola brand. They do all their marketing through like John Manop and a lot of cool little events, and partner up with a lot of artists like Vic Mensa and Currency and stuff like that. But he was going through, and he was like, even with me, like he was like, even with himself, having the capital, having the money. He like, I played in NBA. I was an all-star. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got the bread. but it was still so many obstacles I had to jump through. And like, I didn't know it was because I was black or just in general. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, everybody I know says it's real tough to get into the business, and really it's tough to like kind of make it happen from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to everybody that is successful. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But wait, how was you guys' week? We just missed the whole part. I was just so excited about the cannabis. You know what I'm saying? You just came from Montana.
Yeah.
Like, did you see? I saw bisons.
Yeah. I saw a lot.
That seems like a great place to be high at.
It was, man. It was a great place to do like everything at, to be quite honest with you, man. It was so obviously I went to Yellowstone.
Right.
And it's winter time, so like the wildlife is not like they're not like out all over the place like they would normally be. But I definitely saw a lot of bison just out. And I saw like a few like some eagles and hawks and shit like that. Didn't see any bears. Now, see, I didn't really want to see any bears. Like, if I was in a car and there was, like, a bear over there in the distance,
Sure.
like, oh, yeah, there's a bear over there. But I don't want to be like, here's me and here's the bear. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
not that close. Like,
Yeah.
if it's like a good 1,000 feet, I'd be like,
I
all
mean,
right,
even
cool.
1,000 feet, unless I'm 2 feet from my car or inside structure, because I don't know if you know this. Quick fun fact about bears: they're actually like killing machines. Like they can run like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they can climb trees. They can swim.
Yeah.
It's just like there's no escaping.
It's very hard to. You got to like zigzag, but they're not as agile.
Shit. Well,
Like
they
left,
may not-
right, like you know what I'm
Bro,
saying.
you're not gonna zigzag a bear. You know what I'm saying? You won't fuck around and get somebody mauled. Sometimes trying to zigzag. With the fucking-
Like, what is he doing? He's in a maze.
Nah, man, but nah. It was wonderful, man. It was just a lot of. They have surprisingly good food. There's a lot of pizza in Bozeman, in Montana. They're real big on pizza for some reason. I'm not sure.
Did you have a bison burger?
I had bison sausage.
Okay.
I had a breakfast scramble, and they had some bison sausage, and it was actually really fucking delicious. You're not into the bison?
No, that's a little too exotic.
Too
for me.
far. I mean, it's kind of like out there they eat bison burgers, bison. Like it's all kind of.
Did they have what is that called? Rocky Mountain oysters?
I did not have any of those.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I didn't see none of the places I went to had them on the menu.
That's good.
Yeah, but in the case you don't know where Rocky Mountain oysters are,
I was just about to ask that.
these are bull testicles.
Yeah.
Off of what though?
Nigga, off the bull.
People eat them like
Yeah,
it's terrible.
yeah. They call them Rocky Mountain oysters.
I don't want to be high knowing this. Like hearing this, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is so insane.
Yeah.
Who does?
So
Y'all some ball eat? I'm sorry.
so
I got so many jokes for that.
so I've never eaten testicles of any sort. Disclaimer. Put that out there. No testicles for the god. But organ meat is actually like the most nutritious for you. So that's why, our parents used to eat liver and shit like that.
Okay.
Right. Or organ meat actually is where like most of the nutrients are. So like most ancient cultures, like like we talking about like Yellowstone, Montana. Obviously, that was all.
You finna have niggas out here eating hearts and shit.
But it was all once native land, right?
Oh,
and
okay.
they killed the buffalo. They ate all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They ate the heart, they ate the liver, they ate the kidneys. You know what I'm saying? They ate all the organs out of it, right? So, but yeah, so there's probably some high nutritional content to Rocky Mountain oysters. I'll never find out, but there's a reason why. But nah, man, it was. I stayed at a spot called the Sage Lodge. It's in Paradise Valley, Montana. So it was like an hour away from Bozeman. Well, it's called Paradise Valley. The town was actually called Prey. And it was just like they converted this old ranch to like a luxury hotel. And
I saw the hot springs.
yeah, man. And it was
That was
like,
part of it?
so in my room, so the hot springs are actually in Yellowstone. So, but in my room, there was like there was like a little like you got like a little patio on it, and then like you walk out and there's just like a big ass fishing pond, like a large field, like open prairie, and then just like
That sounds pretty.
big ass mountains. Right? You know what I'm saying? And like I took pictures like I posted, but it's like the pictures you can't really appreciate the scale. It was just like, you know, and it was just really relaxing. Like it's like the sky is bluer, like the air is a little more crisp, you know what I mean? Like it
You
was
gonna
like
move to Montana?
hell no. The funny thing was they are not used to black people at all. And it wasn't like a what are you doing here? Like get out of here
Right.
type shit. It was right. That's exactly what it was. Like, oh, there's a black man here. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting. Like motherfuckers was waving at me. Like it was really weird. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the awkward conversation is when like you meet white people for the first time and they like feel awkward. They ask you about Obama, or they tell you that they voted for Obama, or Obama's somewhere in that conversation.
Right.
You just be like, "Why are you talking to me about this?" Right?
But they weren't shy just because everybody just like so what made you come to Montana, right? But yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10, highly recommend it. Like if you ever looking to get away, because I love Colorado. Like I like going into towns where it's like, you know,
Nature,
no paved roads, shit like that. But yeah, no, it was a really good time.
How y'all been doing? How y'all been working hard? A lot of events going on. You brought us some beautiful. We got to get into this too.
Yeah, we got a whole fucking display assortment up here.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So how was you guys' week?
It was pretty good. We I just finalized a couple of different events. Oh, we're gonna be at the Drip Collective on the 12th from like 6 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of the Drip Collective before?
I've heard the name. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
So it's
though.
a black-owned coffee shop in Wicker Park,
Okay.
and it's literally like a collective, like an artist collective. So if you're in any like hosting or doing events, that's a great space to do it. You can kind of cultivate your own thing. But we're gonna be doing a product like feature. So we have infused Jardiniere, like we have a collaboration with JP Graziano. So it's 25 milligrams, cute little jar. But yeah, they're gonna be putting on pizza and everything. They will be checking IDs at the door. But
I fucking love Jardiniere.
yeah, it's really good. It's hot though, so I would say yeah.
I like the hot Jardiniere on
Yeah.
pizza. Yeah, when is this?
It's on the 12th. It's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a great time. We had to go to our coworkers' memorial last Sunday.
Oh shit.
Yeah, our coworker Leon passed away. He's been there, I think, since it opened, right? Yeah, since Nu Era opened. So he was definitely like a friendly face, and people have known that guy. He's damn near feels like your uncle and stuff like that.
Damn.
So
R.I.P. Leon.
yeah, it's been kind of like hard adjusting without, you know, having him there. But other than that, we all been trying to like hold it down and be there for each other. So
Well,
yeah.
condolences out to his family.
Yeah,
Family
for
and
sure,
friends,
for sure.
condolences.
Yeah.
What about you, man?
Dude, I've been all over. I've been all over the place. I was just in East Dubuque.
Where?
Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you. I was about to ask you, like, how do you know that? But you went to school out.
I went to school at Iowa.
Like, how do you know that?
Oh yeah. So we have a dispensary in East Dubuque called Nu Era. Yeah. And,
Okay.
my hotel is actually across the bridge in Iowa, in Dubuque, Iowa.
Okay.
And it's interesting because there's also Wisconsin's border is north. There's another bridge. Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
Wisconsin, Iowa, and then we're right there, which is pretty phenomenal because it's illegal in Iowa and Wisconsin. So we're getting all that business from there.
So they're driving right over and coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
right there. So it's booming.
Yeah, I handled their field marketing for that dispensary. Reached out to several businesses, and in Iowa specifically, and spread the word of Nu Era, telling them that they were there. I was also working an event at one of the bars, just kind of spreading the word that way. That's pretty much what I do for the company in terms of field marketing. I go to different events. Like for cannabis, we can't really do traditional advertising.
Right.
We can't have billboards in certain areas, zoning, age gated. So we can't have a strong presence on social media either. You know, if you look on Instagram lately, the last couple months, Instagram has been just deleting accounts left and right. On my like work Instagram, I saw 60 accounts were disabled because they were cannabis related.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so really all we have to do is community outreach, you know, and street field marketing. And I'm part of this crew called Street Team, which is the handles marketing for dispensaries. You know, that's basically our strategy, and that's kind of the only strategy right now.
Well, I mean, it's just like, it kind of reminds me of the time of like hip hop, right? When you had, damn, I just lost my train of thought right there.
That's what happens when you smoke weed.
See, that's what happens. That's what happens.
There
when
are
I smoke.
also, I mean, there are good things that happen when you smoke weed, but that definitely happens to me. Like you just sitting there, you just high as fuck, and you're like, I'm gonna go in the kitchen, and then you get to the kitchen, like, what the fuck did I come in the kitchen for?
That happens when you walk through doorways, though. Like, there's a theory about that. Like, whenever
Me
you
too.
walk through doorways, you're like walking into like a different like reality or dimension. So that's why you kind of lose your train of thought.
Okay, now you just got on some other shit.
You feel better?
You talking about walking through portals and shit?
Like Back to the Future shit.
Right. Wasn't ready. No, man. I've been interested in something. I've never really like looked too into it. It's just like sometimes you think about shit when you're high, like you sit there and you smoking a joint. Like, I wonder, is this some GMO shit? Right? So like, but seriously, like, do you guys know? Is there like a is that like a thing? Do you have like genetically modified or GMO weed? Or is the weed industry still like mostly natural? Do you think?
I mean, like, in terms of like genetics, I mean, we
I guess we've kind of been genetically modifying shit for a long time. Huh?
Yeah,
So,
crossing.
you know, making hybrids and different strains and stuff like that, but not. I don't think what you're talking about.
Like more like synthetic.
like Monsanto or something.
Monsanto,
like that.
yeah, right, exactly. Like,
No.
like are they sending you fucking these weird seeds and shit? Right.
No, I mean it's I mean that's like more food stuff, right?
Yeah. Monsanto is like So they basically like they have all the patents on seeds. It's like they sign like contracts with farmers, and basically like they can only use the seeds that they have, but they can't replant the seeds. It's a whole lot of fucked up shit that goes along with it.
No, yeah, you have to pay for the privilege of certain genetics because someone out there, you know, developed those genetics.
Right.
And I wouldn't say modified genetics, maybe just variations.
Right.
You know,
Wait, so like,
Cross pollination and shit.
so there are people that really like just sit there and just be like, I'm gonna add this strand, see what it comes out to, and I'm gonna name it this. Is that what's called genetics? And that man owns like that IP or that recipe.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
So people will say, give me the highest testing flower. And I'm always like, all right, I can give you some high testing flower, but I'd really think you'd like this strain in particular. Yeah, it's not going to be that strong, but the genetics and the properties of that strain are so awesome. Like Jack Herrera. Jack Herrera is a very heavy sativa. You smoke a little bit of it, you're going to be like talking like 30 words a second. You're going to be like
Really?
walking around. Pacing
Now, see,
and-
that's what I like.
Now, there's a different sativa that's definitely not as, I want to say, potent as Jack Herrera. There are sativas, it could be like 28%. And this is my personal experience. 28% testing, I'll smoke it. And I won't be like jittery or anything. And Jack Herrera, it could be testing at 21%. You smoke it, and then you get that jitteriness, the pacing where you're walking around. It's great if you're going to a concert. Great if you're going out and about.
Yeah. Well, with my job, I'm moving around a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and it's a lot of moving pieces happening at one time, and you got to, you know what I mean? So that would be great for me. Yeah. Okay.
Well, can I give you guys your goodie bags now?
Oh, well, you brought us
yeah,
gifts?
Fuck yeah,
Oh,
you can.
shit. Hold on. I got some, what the fuck? Oh,
I'm trying to see who's
goodie
who's real
bags.
quick.
Motherfuckers ain't never came on here and brought us no goodie bags.
Because they're not me. So this one is yours.
Okay.
And
Got
this
like
one
little pins
is
on
Oh, I
it.
got pins and stuff on there.
Sometimes cultivators drop by and like give us swag, and somebody dropped off these cute ass little bags. So I was like, hey, let me get
This is
two of
really
these for
fucking
y'all.
nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got it's a leather lanyard. Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good quality and shit like that.
Yeah.
But you guys kind of have different things in your bag. So
Okay.
I know you said you like sativa.
Uh-huh.
So I put Don Shula. That's like a house favorite. The
This
Don
right here?
Shula 8th. That's in there. Yeah,
Right here?
that one right there. Yeah, so that usually, again, like we were talking about a lot of the time, like percentage doesn't matter. I think that usually tests though at usually like in the 30s though, so people do like it. It is one of those comparables like to Jack Herrera where it's high focus, high cerebral. So while you're moving around, I think you'll like that one.
Okay.
And then the pre-roll, which one was that? Zangria. So this one is
Okay.
going to be a sativa leaning hybrid too. So it's going to be a little bit more chill, but still really productive. And then I threw in, so Alchemy, that's one of our brands. So Nu Era has a few different brands underneath them. So it's Nu
Okay.
Era, that's the house brand. Then it's Interstate 420. And then it's Midweek Friday. So those are a few of our different ones. But
Nice.
our biggest thing about Alchemy is it's always in the ratios. So it's always going to have CBD, CBG, CBN, something like that. But
Okay.
the gummies are at 8-1. So they are a little bit more relaxed and they have CBD in them.
Okay.
But it's higher in CBD than THC. So I would say just take half of one if you want to try it
Okay.
out.
Yeah, I want to.
No, you're good. And so I know you like indica because he gave me the inside scoop on you, and I follow you on Instagram. So I got
She
you.
did her research.
I got you some salve. So we actually just came out with that. It's a 1-to-1.
Okay.
Really, really good for repair. I know you're like into martial arts and everything.
yeah,
so
yeah.
like when you're done doing that, really good for migraines as well too. I've heard of people just really great points for you to put it on like the inside of your wrist, anywhere there's like super thin skin.
Okay.
If you have a migraine, you can put it just like right behind your neck or just kind of lather yourself in it. But I think you'll like that.
Oh yeah,
one.
no, because like when I pulled this out, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna use this. 'Cause I've had like some CBD creams before, like so if I have like a little injury, I'm always like nicking myself up or something, right? And I remember this one girl I know, she was making it, and I can't get any more from her now, but it was like it was so fucking good. Like I would have like an injury or like a little pain or something, like pull a muscle, and I put that shit on there. And
Tiger Bomb is one.
yeah,
of mine.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like Tiger.
So yeah,
Balm,
so it was like
it's
Tiger
not
Balm,
smart.
but just like way fucking better.
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. No, so this is wonderful. Thank you.
Hey, perfect. And then I for the 8th, I actually put permanent marker in there. That's one of my favorites from us too. I really like that strain. It's kind of sweet, really pretty buds on it, but it is a very heavy indica, so really great for relaxing. Yeah. So it's really great for relaxation again and pain relief because of that myrcene in there. And then what pre-roll did I throw in there? Which one
This
was it?
one is a garlic mash.
Yeah, so the garlic mash is actually supposed to be kind of like the brother to the Don Shula. So it's going to be a bit earthy, but still, again, that nice relaxation indica. So I think you'll like that.
See, that's the type of quality breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't want to hear like I got some za. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck does that mean, bro? Like, what's the name of it? Is it indica? Is it sativa? Is it hybrid? Is it indica dominant? You know what I'm saying? Like, I like, because I don't want to just get high now. Like, I want to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, there's sometimes, and that's why I've really got to the point now where like when we outside and like people that have some like, yeah, I mean, y'all here to be social, but I would just smoke my own weed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm at that point where like I just pull out my own joint, and if you want to smoke with me here, you can have one, because I have an extra one. Because like I said, like I hold on to them so long, so like if I'm out, I'm having like 3 or 4 joints on me. So like depending on how the night goes, they all may get smoked that night.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great night. But yeah, man. So my, do you remember the first time you got high? And tell us that story if it's a funny one. If it's embarrassing, you don't gotta tell.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in high school, like everyone, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I had a bad reaction to it. I had friends who were straight up selling it, but I was like a good boy. I was afraid to smell like it because my parents would give me hell. And I
Right,
just didn't know it. Yeah. So I'm with them. We're in the car driving, and I'm like tweaking. I'm like, cop. Every fucking car that drives by, and they're like, Diego, you really need to chill. This is getting out of hand. And I'm like, all right, okay, but like, I don't want Alex to get pulled over. I don't want this. And I was just, it was like terrifying. And the next day, I was like, oh, I can handle it again. And then I'll smoke it, be all tweaky, and my consumption didn't grow to this much until I started working. For a cannabis brand.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just here and there.
Yeah,
And
like if I worked with y'all, I would probably be very highly educated too, because even when I was selling weed, I had a statute of limitations. Shit. No, but it was an app back in the day called Leafly. So when I used to be out, I'd be like, yo, I got this, and I used to just send a picture of like the description, like what it does, and people were like, oh, that's what you want? Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, yeah, man. The knowledge of the tree is insane because it's gone to so many levels. You got lotions, oils, sodas, gummies, flour. You know what I mean? That's why I joked earlier about like a marijuana grocery store. Like if it was a grocery store, like everything was infused with either CBD or THC, that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah. I just know like, and like everybody reacts to it differently, you know, right?
Yeah.
But I know edibles are more acceptable now. But even like the flower, because it's been funny to watch it grow, right? And you see somebody like Snoop, you know what I'm saying, who's become a little bit. You haven't seen as much of Snoop after the whole Trump thing, but
Oh yeah, that was a good PR move. They're like, you need to just chill.
Yeah. Snoop the kind of you ain't really seen
fall
Snoop
back.
at all for a minute. Yeah.
I mean, he been getting to the bag.
Yeah, but like
He was getting to the bag.
But I feel like you talk about influencers in terms of weed. You got like Willie Nelson, Cheech and Chong, and fucking Snoop Dogg, right? Like he's done, and arguably in terms of like this wave of normalizing, you can argue that Snoop has probably done more for that cause than anybody, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and because I can see that because he's out there more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Wiz Khalifa is
I was gonna say Wiz Khalifa though.
Wiz
too.
Khalifa is a.
And I'd say just like Wiz is just younger than Snoop, but
Right,
he's
right.
always been a heavy advocate for it too.
Yeah, but Wiz doesn't have the reach that Snoop does, though.
Yeah.
Like Snoop is like.
He got a cooking show with Martha Stewart.
Right. I mean, you go to pretty much any corner of the world and like Wiz is going to be a tall dude with dreadlocks, but it's going to be fucking Snoop. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
to me, when I hear Snoop, it's watching him in a hockey jersey ride on a bike with a big afro into the Super Bowl in an all crip, you know what I'm saying, outfit. Like, it's amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But it's become way more acceptable now.
Yeah.
But like and it just seems like not that long ago that weed was still really like a taboo, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, now you got like on it's big business. It's kind of, you forget that it's still federally illegal right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in some places you still can't actually buy it, but it's become like such a thing where like nobody really necessarily thinks it's a bad thing anymore, which is kind of weird as to why it's not federally legal. Just, and I really don't understand it. And I know it's like
That's not true though. Like there's still people, like that's one of the things that Diego and I, or just like our team, try to work on, is just destigmatizing cannabis, because there are still a lot of people out there that have just old views and just ideas of what it is and what the plan is. So I think like the more people educate themselves on actually like the benefits of it and just like the different parts about it, like maybe, but there's still a pretty big demographic out there that are against flower, like for sure.
So we asked Diego the question. Your first time getting high. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I didn't get high my first time though. And then I actually didn't find out I wasn't smoking properly until I was probably like in my mid-20s, and I was smoking with one of my brothers.
Oh, shit.
And that was our first time smoking together. I was so proud of myself. I rolled us a blunt and everything. And he was just like looking at me, and he was like, why are you smoking like that? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is how I smoke. He was like,
what were
no.
you doing?
I don't even remember now. Like, I guess I was just...
The same thing I did when I first smoked. I took it. And you just don't inhale. Like, it's just...
See, the thing is, I thought I was, and I had been smoking so much prior to that.
Yeah.
But after that night, I've been smoking the right way since then. I'm like, okay. But it was like a Thanksgiving, and it was like, you go on your walk type of a thing.
Yeah.
So it was a
the
bonding
cousin
moment.
walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it was dope, yeah.
Yeah.
But my first time, like, it was in a car. This is when I was living in Oklahoma, because I'm from Tulsa. I was raised in Tulsa.
Oh, nice.
But they were like, yeah, let's smoke. I'm like, okay. Pass it around. Everybody was getting hungry. They're like, you're good? I'm like, I could eat. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not starving, but...
Yeah, I don't think
you remember?
I
remember. I remember mine very vividly.
Yeah, like, okay.
I was with you the first time I smoked.
Okay. So if you ever know, we've known each other since we was like short.
Since we were children. Yeah. We go way back.
So I don't remember. You know what? I think the first time I got high, really high that I can remember, was one of my homeboys, our homeboy Chris. He had like a
Chris. Oh, I was about to say
his whole government.
his whole government. Well, it's multiple Chris's. When you have people with a common last name, you gotta say the Chris. You gotta say the last name. Make sure you're talking about the same motherfucker.
Right.
Okay, we good. Go ahead.
But so I remember I got some Chinese food from the spot in Chicago, because that's where we at. For people that's not from Chicago, the Chinese spot on 79th in Indiana, and he had like this basement, graffiti everywhere. He was like a tagger, like a straight hip hop. Break dancer, b-boy, all the shit.
His basement, his crib, that was legendary.
It was like he had a garden unit. It was just everybody came there, chill, smoke, and we was in his bathroom. It was like me, him, and like 4 other people, and we're in there. We're hotboxing. He got the shower going. The towel is underneath. I'm sitting there like fuck, and I fell in the tub.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I literally fell in the tub and got wet and shit and ran out, and then I almost peed on myself because he was known to have big dogs, and he had this big ass fucking dog.
Dread.
Yes, it was dread. It was scary. Like one of those dogs you see, you just cross the street. You be like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I ran out of the bathroom and then I pissed myself because he's. I'm like shit. It was not a very pleasant time. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. It was very.
First time I got high, it was great. It was the 4th of July. And we was in June garage. It was me, you.
What year was it?
June and Jomo.
Because that would tell me the music that we was listening to.
I was 14 years old, so that would have been 94.
We was probably listening
Excuse me, 96. My bad, that was 96.
We was probably listening to either Big or Nas.
I'm sorry, that was 94.
Yeah.
I got my math right this time now. 94. Yeah. Nah, I was 14 years old. It was 4th of July, and we were in June garage. It was me, you, June, and Jomo. Yep. And remember he got those tree stumps we used to sit on.
Yep.
I don't know why the fuck he had tree stumps in his garage, but he had tree stumps. and we sat on the tree stumps. And my first time, we all bought a Nick, and we sat there and smoked 4 big ass blunts. And this is my first time getting high. Right, I walked out of that garage on another fucking planet. You know what I'm saying? But then it's the 4th of July, so then it's like fireworks and shit.
And at that time,
I had a ball. That was
we was
night.
kids. You know what I'm saying? And in our neighborhood in Chatham, it used to be a war, a friendly war.
Yeah.
82nd versus 83rd fireworks show. Brandon Cade, which is our homeboy, shout out to Brandon. He's doing big things. He's going to be on the pod soon. He used to have, like, his house was the kicking house. You know what I'm saying?
He had the pool, basketball.
He had the basketball rim. And then my other homeboy, Derek and Teddy, they just had a rim on the light pole. You know what I'm saying? But everybody used to be back there. You know what I'm saying? Plus, they a little bit older. And they would go back and forth way until like 1 o'clock in the morning. So as kids, we're just sitting around just drinking and watching the fireworks. You know what I'm saying? Probably got some girls with us or something. Just hanging out. It was just a good time. I remember that day. I remember that. It was just, getting high for the first time in teenagers is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, everybody could picture that one time they was on the beach. It was the perfect day. You got the perfect cocktail. And you always want to have that snack, that favorite snack. What are your guys' favorite get high snacks? What's your go-to?
Oh, my go-to is beef jerky. I'm all
Beef
about that
jerky?
protein. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, never heard that before.
I try to get as much protein in me as possible. Carnivore diet style. I don't have some carbs in me, but
okay.
I try to be.
You on the caveman diet?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, that's how we evolved when we were like cavemen.
Hey, facts.
So our bodies, like,
I have a really big sweet tooth. So, like, the Otis Spunkmeyer, like, triple chocolate muffins.
Otis Spunkmeyer.
Yeah, I'm like, it's very, very specific.
Yeah, I know the brand because the blueberry joints is fire. Yeah.
Exactly. They're wonderful.
The Otis Spunkmeyer brand has been around for a long time.
For a minute. My mom actually used to love those, and so I just always get them. But at my job, like, people are always, we had to tell people, like, cultivators and stuff, to stop bringing us like candy and donuts and everything, because we would just be getting drowned in sugar. But whenever we have zebra cakes and honey buns, I'm always going after
zebra.
those.
That's mine's. What is yours?
I have a few. I also have a sweet tooth. So, like, my favorite, like, sweet dessert of all, because if I get high, if I get the munchies, I'm gonna want like some dessert kind of shit. Like, so easily accessible stuff, like Reese cup all day. You know what I'm saying? I love a Reese cup. A very underrated snack that a lot of people don't. If you dig the peanut butter and chocolate combo, there's a peanut butter Snicker.
It is
really fucking delicious.
It is one. Yeah.
So I'll get a peanut butter Snicker every now and then. But I love carrot cake.
I don't really hear anybody say that. That's why I didn't mean to look like that.
Like, carrot cake.
Like,
This
okay.
motherfucker like carrot cake.
Girl, I was on this pod
Right.
talking about carrot cake.
No. I love carrot cake. And also donuts. Shout out to Voodoo Donuts. Thankfully, they opened up one here. Have you guys ever been to Voodoo Donuts?
I haven't been yet.
People brought them to us. They're usually really busy. There's usually a lot going on top.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they do a lot of wild shit with their donuts, but there are some things, like, like they do. Like, they have a really good apple fritter. But the main thing here is they stay open late, right? So.
How late?
I've gone there like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
It's like an insomnia cookies.
Like an insomnia cookie.
Shout out to them for their snickerdoodle.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, fire.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people fuck with insomnia. I'm not real big on insomnia. Insomnia is just okay to me.
I
Right?
guess.
I mean, they cool.
We obviously have different taste buds. And that's all right.
Exactly.
How about you?
When I was a kid, Mambas.
Mambas.
Those are really
Mambas
good.
was fire.
That's
to me.
crazy.
Mambas, Sour Patch Kids.
That's gentrified Starburst. You need Starburst like a real nigga. You talking about Mambas.
Mambas, and then like as I'm older now, like pies, cobblers, peach cobbler, apple pie. It's over with.
Yo, a good cobbler.
Over with. Got to be right dough.
Yeah,
You got to be with the right dough.
The dough to filling ratio has to be
A little bit over.
Yeah, you
Just
know what I'm
a
saying.
little
Like,
bit.
you just like you want some good crust, right? Do you guys enjoy cobblers? Are you guys
I don't really like cobblers like that.
What?
Like, nah. One of my brothers really likes a peach cobbler. I don't know. It's usually just like super duper sweet though. That's why I can't like too sweet.
It has to be like the most naturalist.
Can you?
You know what I mean? Because they do the inside. You know, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a chef, so I used to try to find a perfect way to perfect a cobbler. But yeah, I'm good. I'm high right now. This is
You just tapped out.
I love cherry cobbler.
cherry.
Cherry
Yes,
cobbler.
yeah. See, I just got put on those. I was like, oh,
I've
snap.
never had a cherry cobbler. That reminds me. My mama told me that she was gonna make me. She makes these peach apple cobblers. Yeah. I need to.
You need to text her down like, hey, mom.
Remember when you had said?
So what are some of these things? What are these products here? What brand? I know it's Nu Era, and then what's this infused THC?
This
seltzer?
beverage.
It's
This
beverage.
beverage? Oh, well, this is one of our newer products that
Okay.
kind of relatively recently available at our dispensaries. It's called Rizzo. It's going to be infused drinks. This one here is 25 milligrams. It's only have three flavors available right now. This one's hibiscus berry.
Okay.
I think it's very tasty. People use because we're trying to tap into the alcohol or alternative market. People who don't want to drink anymore but want to have something to sip on and want to feel a certain type of way.
It's a really good idea. Really, if you really think about it, that's because a lot of people are getting away from drinking as much. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good market to tackle into.
There,
You know what I mean?
You just look at Emporium and Logan. They sell cannabis infused drinks, THC.
Did
Really?
not know that.
Very low dose, 2.5 milligrams, I believe, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's like no higher than 5. A lot more places get into. I think Promontory just started carrying one. Like you can find it out just in so many places now where they're just in the mocktail or aisles. Sections. I think I was at was it Whirly Ball, and I think they had something on their menu too. So it's been nice being able to find different alternatives outside of just like pretty much drinking juice, so.
Yeah, I think Cheech and Chong, is that the brand that Emporium carries? Do you know?
They
think
carry
Raven
quite
was
a
telling
few
me.
different ones.
Yeah.
Like, I think they have like 3 or 4 different ones there.
Yeah, I never tried them. I mean, when I take an edible, it's got to be like 30 milligrams. That's too low dose for me.
See, I'm a 10 and 25 guy. I just moved to 25s.
Yeah.
Like within like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm
at
definitely a 5 to 10. You know what I'm saying?
Do you take it all at once, or do you usually like build on it, or?
I typically just take one and just leave it there.
Yeah.
I prefer the feeling of when I like the flower high as opposed to like when I ingest it, and then it's just kind of like I forgot I took this 30 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? And that shit hits you like, that's weird.
You're
I
like a little
feel it.
philosopher.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I took an edible. That's what this
That's why.
You know
That's
what
why.
I'm saying? But then it's also the like, because just like even with weed, like all of them don't necessarily make you feel the same. So I've had like some 10s or just, I can do another one of these. And it kind of like gave me a really good feeling. And then I've had the 10, it was just like, I don't like this. But now I'm on this ride for like the next fucking 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Buckle up.
right. So like with some weed, I hit that shit like, oh no, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's done. But like, when you find out with the edible, it's too late. So I tend to steer if I do partake in the edibles, I tend to do very, very low doses.
Since we're talking about different, excuse me, other than flowers, do you think the mushrooms are on the rise to be as popular as cannabis?
Yeah, well, I mean, no. Do you want to answer? Oh, yeah. I mean, yes and no. I mean, in terms of like its effects.
Well, not its effects, but like, do you think it'll be as popular? Because I'm starting to see like mushroom gummies, pills on the market. I've seen some seltzers that's mushroom infused.
Are they like psychoactive? So non-psychoactive then?
Because you can find there's different kinds of mushrooms that have just like different health benefits and just give you kinds of different feelings. Like for
I'm talking the ones that get you high.
okay, I was about to say
The
because like,
psilocybin.
Yeah.
because for a moment we had like was it like lion's mane or
Lion's
something?
mane, yeah,
mushroom chocolate bars, but like I like the magic mushrooms. I mean, I think the effects are way different though.
Absolutely.
Like being on a weed chocolate bar and being on a shroom chocolate bar is just a whole
Very
different
experience.
joint, you know.
Very different experience.
like we were just saying like earlier about like you don't run into people, you know, who were like, oh, I had to stay out of the way because I smoked a joint. Like, no, you run into somebody who had some shrooms, maybe you probably should stay out of their way.
Yeah. Well, like that's depending on what type of trip they're on. Because I've definitely I've never gone too far on a trip. You know what I'm saying, in terms of the shrooms. Like I've done like a lot of microdosing, maybe a little bit more, but I've always just gotten like to where I just feel like really groovy, you know. But it's definitely like a much different feeling, and just much like with the edibles, it's like, you know, once you're on that trip, like you're on it, you know. There's no getting off of this ride until it's over. You know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying though, because I feel like there's at least I've seen more pushes to like actually legalize shrooms as well, and like for that, because like, in terms of microdosing, like people are using it as like an antidepressant.
Yeah.
You know, to, I know a lot of people have talked about using shrooms as like management for grief, right? Like them helping to deal with their grief. Like I've had like multiple people talk to me about that. But like you were saying, two very different things, right? Like what one does. So it's kind of hard to imagine, because like shrooms make you see shit that ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Or not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Depending on what dimension you may fall into, type shit. You know what I'm saying?
See. So like, one of my old friends that worked at Starbucks, he moved to Seattle,
Right.
and he has a podcast too, and he basically talks about his trips of like acid, mushrooms. He's taken ayahuasca like twice. You know what I'm saying? He's been to like these camps and shit like that. And he was telling me like, bro, like he's a mushroom sharma, I want to say. I don't know what that is. Like kind of like, but he, if somebody wants to take mushrooms, he was like, my advice is always be with somebody that's been there, and they can just help you through it.
Like
a travel buddy.
Yeah,
because you may have a bad trip, you may not. You know what I'm saying? No matter what the small of the dosage is, anything can trigger that situation. So he was like, that's what I used to do. People used to pay me $100 to sit with them. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. They'll watch me do shrooms, observe me. Then the next day we do them, and I observe them. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, I used to pay him for that shit. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But then after that, that's when I asked, that's what sparked that question. Because I'm like, damn, I'm starting to see this more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like, even ayahuasca. Like, I would love to try it. I don't think I'm mentally there yet.
True.
Because I heard it's a whole...
Yeah, well, that's the only reason I know what ayahuasca is because of Aaron Rodgers.
You watched the documentary?
I didn't watch the documentary, but you know I follow sports. So that it was I haven't seen the documentary, but it was a whole thing, like, because he was missing. It became a story because he was missing parts of like team workouts and shit like that because he out in the woods on the ayahuasca retreat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's a whole like
Mike Tyson though too. He's always really talking about how he explores. Because I mean, I know I don't know about like any other market, but I know out here for a short amount of time, I can't remember, I think he was under Verano. I think that was his cultivating when he was out here.
Yeah, he had a heavy presence in the cannabis space.
Like if you can ever find them, they're really hard to find, but he has these weed wraps. They have toad terpenes in them. They sell really fast anytime they come around, but I know like he's one of those people who's kind of talked about playing out with just like different kind of psychedelic drugs on top of weed. But I know he mostly smokes weed and then maybe does things.
I mean, it's a different trip. I mean, with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, that dude first game broke his
He tore his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to be out. This nigga came back.
No, he didn't. He didn't come back. He was trying to come back.
Uh-huh.
He kept saying he was going to come back, but he never fucking came back.
I thought he came back.
No, so the thing was, they ended up sucking. So by the time he quote unquote would have been able to come back, it wasn't worth it anymore because they weren't going to make the playoffs. The season was basically over at that point.
Oh yeah.
So
because he went to the team meetings and shit.
Yeah. So he was out there like acting like he was out there warming up, practicing with him and shit like that. But he was never gonna fucking play, bro. He tore his Achilles. Like that's the largest tendon.
But like,
I mean, he came back from it the next season. But he definitely was on this whole thing that entire season when he got hurt, like toying with the idea of coming back and like kind of making people believe that could have actually happened. But there was no fucking way, absolutely not.
But who else talks about it? Will Smith in his book? He took ayahuasca. And even like the guy I was talking about that has a podcast, like he literally takes you step by step. He like in some places to really experience it, you have to be in the jungle. It's a retreat. It's basically all plant and fruit based food, and you go there, you meditate, you do your yogas and stuff like that. And they usually take it at nighttime. They always have like music playing, real chill vibe. And you're out in the whip. It's dark as shit. And they give you a bowl. Because they were like, you're guaranteed to throw up the first 15 minutes. But after that, you're gone.
I know somebody who actually just left. They're going to I think they're going to Peru. Mm-hmm. And it was because everything that was just going on in the world was just stressing him out so much. He couldn't really cope with it. He couldn't escape it. Just like everything, literally. Mm-hmm. Even at work, he would try to not think about stuff, and just conversation would come up. So he just said, "F this," and quit his job.
and went to fucking Peru.
And like he was talking about how he was taking something to kind of like purge himself before going into the jungle and doing ayahuasca for like 3-4 days in a row. But I was just like, man, if that's what you need to do, like, hey, more power to you. I hope you feel better when you come back and you can kind of like live with things. My dad, he lives out in Cincinnati. He's a drug dependency counselor. Okay. And one of the things that he always talks to me about and that I try to keep in mind is making sure I'm like living and not coping with things, because you have to be able to live with what's going on and be in reality, be in the moment, versus constantly trying to like feel like, even like with overconsumption of anything, like even weed. Like I used to smoke a lot for any reason, for whatever reason, versus now like me being a purpose smoker, taking tea breaks, like understanding like, okay, like maybe I'm a little too sad right now and I don't need to smoke anything. Or maybe I'm already a little too anxious and it's like, this isn't really going to help. I need to just figure this out. Yeah, like
you just in a corner just crying, listen to Drake.
Right. So I mean, because so weed is not alcohol, right? It's not. It's chemically, weed really isn't addictive like that, in that sense, right? But people definitely use it to cope a lot. You know what I'm saying? People like use it to like self-medicate, and I mean, there's sometimes I mean, it affects people so differently, because I know people that like, they smoke first thing when they wake up, but they're highly productive. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The weed kind of helps them manage that. and I know people that will wake up first thing in the morning and smoke weed and really do nothing with themselves all day. So it obviously affects different people in different ways, but you can kind of see it now, and maybe because the world kind of has been going to shit for like the past decade, like slowly. Like we're really getting to the, like, oh, it's really fucked up now. Like, well, before it was kind of like, this is getting fucked up, this is weird, to now everybody's terrified.
You wake up, you don't even know what you're waking up to. You
like what this motherfucker signed today? Just shit. You know, so you can see people turning more and more to like weed. Maybe even people that didn't. Maybe that's their extreme. Maybe people like.
Are you trying to say that weed sales are going to go up because Trump is in office? People's going to be depressed and try to fight again.
Well, I'm not going to say anything along those lines. You want to get us fucking banned? No, but seriously, I mean, just because like it is because people are just turning away from alcohol, right? And it's not like people don't often just leave a vice. Even like, when like people quit like smoking cigarettes, they'll pick up something else.
Right.
They'll pick up like people like, I had to like chew gum. Like I had to do something else just to replace the act of smoking, right? Or drinking, what have you. So yeah, I mean, if people are gonna replace, if they used to come home and have an after dinner cocktail, after dinner glass of wine, now I'm gonna have an after dinner, what is that? How do you say
Rising.
that? Rising. Yeah, I'm gonna come and have a rising. I'm gonna come and have I'm a joint. I'm gonna
see what that would taste like with like some good vodka, tequila. I mix it.
Right? Yeah.
I make a cocktail out that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That'd be like a summer cocktail. Throw some mint and some lime in there, boy. Yeah, nice little summer, little beach something.
Yeah, man. No, but it's kind of easy to see, but like I feel like going to, everybody has to find their own way with that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, just a quick pivot, like, do you guys find yourself with just everything that's been going on? Do you guys kind of find yourself trying to do things to kind of like manage your peace, or do you guys pay attention to it? Are you affected by it at all? Because I mean, there's been a lot going with the current administration. It's just like there's been a lot of change, very, very swiftly. Yeah. So I mean, have you guys found yourself ever like have struggling to deal with anything, or does it bother you at all?
It doesn't really bother me that much. I've given up. I mean, I don't. I mean, like,
hey, that's an honest fucking question, G.
Hey, fucking, it's over.
I don't have time.
Damn it.
I don't have time to like get into it, read up on facts on my own, look at one side's point of view, look at the other side, look at what the argument is. I just don't have time for that. I got more important shit to focus on, like this job, doing well in that, being there for my family and this and yeah. Like,
I feel you. Trust me, I get it. I watch it. If I see something crazy online, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see what's going on because I just gotta. With this it's entertaining in a bit. You know what I'm saying? So I get my little shits and giggles out of it. Like, God damn, this motherfucker shit. But man, well, before we get out of here, we already talked about favorite get high snacks. What is your favorite smoking movie? What movie that you would just put on? Either it's your favorite joint, laugh, cry, whatever, but it's shit.
Oh yeah, American Gangster with Denzel.
That's a good
really?
Yeah. Since I was like 12. Yeah. And then I started getting high and watching it, and I was noticing all these different scenes and all these different like motifs that they have in the movies.
Yeah, I'd say Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's one of my favorite movies in general. But
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I don't even know what that is.
That was really
Really?
good.
Most
Most
Def
Def
is
is in
in
that.
it.
Yeah, Most Def is in that movie.
it's really good.
Yeah, it was like
remember
that was like an early 2000s.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's based off a book too.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite because it's just like, damn. It's like watching. I feel like watching that sometimes is like watching Rick and Morty. Like, damn, this isn't too far off, even though it's like some like weird shit.
Oh yeah, no. That movie was definitely kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody talk about that movie. That was a good one. You fucked my head up with that one.
That was that. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
You should
And it
watch
made me feel so old because mine is it's a tie, man. It's between American Pie and Road Trip. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and you could be American Pie too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched them all to the wedding. You know what I mean? But like, my favorite Get High is just like something that's funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to fucking laugh when it comes to getting smoking and shit like that. So that would probably be, yeah.
My favorite movie to watch while I'm high is probably Coming to America. Because it's already so hilarious.
True.
And it's like
Randy Watson.
You still laugh at that shit like it's your first time. But like when you high, yeah. That or like, well, I'll go all the way to the other side. Like one of my favorite movies is Interstellar. So watching that while you high.
I don't even know what that is
That'll
either.
mess you.
Yeah.
You seen it?
It's a Christopher Nolan movie. It's with Christian Bale. It's like about space travel basically.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey, isn't it?
That's
Matthew
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
It is Matthew McConaughey. It's not
And I
Christian
think
Bale.
Anne Hathaway's in it.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway's in it. Matt Damon is in it for a bit.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine is in it.
I gotta look that up.
It's almost 3 hours long.
Oh yeah, oh my.
But
It is?
yeah.
Dang.
It's like it's over 2.5. I know.
Yeah, back in the day, those movies used to be long.
But Interstellar ain't that old though. Interstellar came out because I remember going to the movies. I want to say like 2015, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like 10. Yeah. Actually, no, it was 2014 because they just did a 10-year anniversary release in the theater.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, How High too.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I liked that
Friday.
movie before I started smoking though. Then it was just like
Friday was always cool. It was a good high.
Friday definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what was my shit? What was the movie? Fucking fuck you. You cool.
You talking about Half Baked?
Half Baked.
Yeah, Half Baked.
Half Baked.
You got other classic like just smoking movies like Pineapple Express.
Yeah,
It's a really fucking good one.
Yep. Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time
Hot
Machine.
Tub Time Machine.
Harold and Kumar. Go to White Castle.
yeah.
That one has to be.
Yeah.
The Harold Kumar with Anthony Anderson with that is like.
Talking about the flavor crystals.
Yeah, those are good high joints. Man, I really enjoyed this episode, man.
Yeah.
You put me in a good vibe. I might look up some comedies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, watch some old Chappelle show.
Oh,
Now it used to be. I remember like every
ritual.
Wednesday, like being in front of the TV,
At my crib.
ready. You know what I'm saying? Ready for the fucking Chappelle show to come on.
it used to be
Y'all
all of
rich,
us.
bitch.
Right. It used to be like at least about 8 of us. It was either somebody's crib. You know what I'm saying? We all get together and watch Chappelle show. That was just like timeless.
Funny story before we get out of here. Just made me think about something. I remember when I graduated from Western Illinois University. So I used to live in a house with like these two other white guys that I just met randomly. Like I needed somewhere to live, and somebody that lived there was graduating, so he had the sublease. So I just rented this room in this house. There were already 2 other people living there. So there were 2 white guys. One guy was from Missouri. The other guy was from somewhere in Illinois. And do you remember when it was like season 2 where he did like it was like some outtakes, some skits that didn't make it, and it did the player haters went back in time, and and Silky shot the slave master, and he kept rewinding it. I'm in the living room. I'm the only black dude in here. The living room is full. You know what I'm saying? I'm surrounded by white people, right? And that shit happens, and I am laughing hysterically. I'm talking about I am damn near in tears laughing at this shit. And I just like I look around and nobody's fucking laughing but me. And I did, but that did not make me stop.
You should stop laughing, just get up and just walk out peacefully. They're like, what's up with that guy?
Nah. But yeah, nobody else thought that shit was fun.
Oh, that was awkward situations. Man, so what you got coming up now? You got any new products coming out? What's the hours? Where can we check you out at?
Yeah, so we're constantly coming out with new strains.
Oh, wait, what is that? We talked about this earlier.
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You got the
Yes.
gadget, the
I'm gonna
gadget.
let Dio talk
so-
about it.
This device is called the Zenko, and
Okay.
it's one of the more. It's like the best kind of sample distribution we have right now, because all it takes is a cartridge. You screw that in there, and then we can distribute samples by. Let me turn it on. You just press this button, and the device fills with a little bit of vape, and then we kind of offer people a straw like this if you want to try it.
Sure.
Yeah. If you like. Sorry. There we go. You want to try it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, it's just
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry.
we living in the future, motherfuckers. Strong.
And events like Verano and GTI, they'll throw. Oh, here, put some more in there.
There you go.
Events like they'll throw like launch parties all the time. We'll get invited, and
I
they'll
think
have
your
like a
finger's on it.
little dab bar with a bunch of Zenkos.
Hey.
It's strong. You get more than you would with a carton battery.
You all right? You need some water? You okay? You okay?
Can I get a shot?
Yo, that's smoke. Before we get out of here,
Oh, wow.
are you going to be?
Yeah, it's strong, right? It's our.
You took a really big hit.
You
though.
did take a really.
You kept hitting the button.
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was... Woo. Yeah, man.
Hey, that's hilarious.
Man.
The cart we're using is a Killer Kiwi cart from our Midweek Friday selection. Now
Okay.
it's gonna taste like Killer Kiwi, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely had kind of like a fruity kind of taste
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
These are botanical terpenes.
Okay.
Terpenes found in fruits and flowers.
Nice.
But yeah, plant based, and that's what we use to flavor them. You don't get too many carts that are straight that are whose name is specific to the flavor or flavor specific to the name. Ours are, and we have a whole bunch of different flavors. My favorite is the mojito because I can taste the mint on the exhale.
I really like the
Yeah.
peach rings and the glazed donut.
Those are both
Those
fantastic.
are really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. We have a backwoods one too,
Yeah,
which is tasty.
Wait, it's one... Does it taste like a glazed donut?
it does.
Like creamy and sweet.
Yeah.
Like,
it
Pause.
does.
Whoa.
But no, oh, man, that's
That was
just...
crazy. Hold on.
I'm high as shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
Before we get out of here, I haven't done this in a minute.
Oh, yeah, man.
I got a weird news story.
Okay.
So typically, at the end of an episode, or whatever, or somewhere in the midst of it, I always, on the internet, you can always find like really. He is dying.
Yeah.
Take your time. Take your time.
Man.
Yeah, we might have to drive the emergency room. But no, I always just find these like really random, weird ass news stories, and then I just started like bringing them on the pod and shit. And so now I actually like go searching for them. But yeah, so I thought it was one that was fitting. I found this shit. How the orchestra that plays instruments made from vegetables earned a Guinness World Record.
Wait, what?
How the orchestra that plays instruments made from vegetables earned a Guinness World Record. So these motherfuckers, they take vegetables and they make them into instruments. They have, hold on. What's the name of this shit? So they have a cucumber phone, a carrot recorder, a radish bass flute, percussive pieces of eggplant, and a leek violin.
I want to hear the sound.
Yeah, and I'm trying to like the size of them.
But also, it's just like, whoever came up with this shit was high
as fuck.
than a motherfucker. Like, there is no way you sitting around sober and be like, you know what? We should make instruments out of vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What sound you think that pineapple make, G?
right. Even though you think like that would be good for like a maraca. You could see a maraca for a pineapple or something like that. What's that shit that they play with the stick?
Horn or tube or something.
Yeah, you know. I mean,
I need to see footage. You should find some footage and mute it and just put it on.
So, no, nigga. So, they have a picture of somebody playing this fucking carrot. And I'll just let y'all see this for yourselves. That's crazy.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I put this on the screen so everybody can see what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, that's
That's so crazy.
That's a weird story.
It's a weird news story, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the world, somebody's playing a cucumber.
And it'd be so random that I'd be like somewhere like in Oregon, and I walk past and I see a poster of that shit.
Yeah.
The vegetable orchestra.
And because I'm high, I'll be like, I'm gonna check this shit out.
Yeah.
No, this has been cool, man.
Thank you for having us.
Oh man, I
Thank you
love
for
it.
having us.
Thank you for the gifts.
Thank you for the gifts.
So where can I find that?
You can find it at our Chicago location. It's in
Okay.
Ricker Park, 1308 West North Avenue. We're actually, if you ever go to the Salt Shed or like Outset or anything, there's free parking right over there. So you can always stop in, grab something right before you go to a show. But yeah, there's multiple different kinds of these. We have one that actually takes flour. So you can actually use it because you can use it for carts and concentrate, so you can do your dabs from that as well.
So where do you put the joint in there? Oh, so it rises up and you.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
How much does something like that cost? Can we ask that?
It's gonna run you maybe a little over 100 usually, but we have a point program and everything like that too, so you can always join that. Also, have you guys ever thought about getting your med cards?
So yeah, actually, and I was reading. So you got the Nu Era website is actually pretty dope. Like, I had a nice. Some nice articles on that. I know we were talking about earlier I read something about how they wanted to reintroduce, or they having reintroduced like the original sour diesel strand, but kind of trying to modify it or whatever. But they had an article on there about being able to have your concealed carry in your Ford and a medical card. So I just thought it was like a no, if you can't have a med card if you have a Ford or you have a concealed carry. But I actually found out that that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not the case anymore. A lot of stuff has changed, especially just with the market just expanding how it is. Right. Ideally, we'd say if you don't plan on getting your card within the first year, just your actual Floyd card or anything the first year, then just get your med card, do it for a year, see how you like it. Right. But if you want to get it soon, do all that and then go the other way.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it was basically if you don't have your Floyd card, right?
So you could possibly have both.
My bad. Yeah, you can have both, but it's if you get your Floyd card first, then you can get your med card. It's easier to get if you have your med card as opposed to getting your Floyd card.
Yeah, because there's a certain time frame when you can actually have your cannabis card. Ideally, you're supposed to wait a year. So then that's why I say if you plan on getting your Floyd card within the year, then just get that and then wait out the year. But if you don't and you're just playing with the idea, then just go ahead and get your med card because you save so much. Mm-hmm. So Recreational, you pay anywhere between like 26 to like 41% in tax, and that's just depending on the THC percentage. So especially if you buy in quantity, if you actually use it for pain management, all these different things, you're paying more. So it just makes more sense, and especially if you need it, then just go ahead and get it. So just put that out there.
I definitely, it was something I thought about, because I mean, I have been going to the dispensary and paying those fucking taxes, and it's a lot, right? So if it's something that can make it easier, I was just under the impression that I couldn't get it, right? So ignorance on my part, I didn't know. So shout out to you guys for putting the information out there,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
For us to know everything about it.
Now I feel empowered.
Exactly, right? I love that.
Yeah.
Man, so we loved it. We had a great time with you guys. On social media, personal, go ahead, tell people they can follow you at.
So my personal one is at Glimpse Babbitt. So GLIMPSEBABBITT.
Damn, that's A B C D E F G H.
It's commitment, but you can also follow like our brand page at Nu Era NUERA.IL. If you want to know about all the different events. Also, I'm the brand manager, by the way, for the location.
Okay.
So I deal with like finding different partnerships for the store, for the company, different events to sponsor, anything like that too. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know.
Hey man, you just cut us a check, just sponsor me. We'll make sure we have all of this still on display. Diego, my man, where they find you at, man?
Yeah, so I have a work Instagram that I use. We also have our own little podcast that we do. It's called Full Spectrum.
Okay. Nice.
And it's not, we don't post frequently. I don't make content as frequently. But whenever I get the chance to do it, we'll have some industry people on and we'll just discuss the industry. It's a full_spectrum_podcast on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Definitely want to check that out. Real, man, where can they find you at, brother?
Real the Producer 914 Media Group, all on Instagram.
Hey, man, I'm your boy, Classic 1979, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to Easily Offended Podcast, man. Before we get out of here, rest in peace, Roy Ayers. He was a great legend. We lost we at the age where starting people our people that we grew up on and our parents grew up on, and
people checking
unfortunately checking out. Exactly. So prayers and condolences to his family. And thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like I said, subscribe, Easily Offended Podcast on YouTube. You already know what it is. Class of 1979, man. We out. Peace.